Hello and welcome to the Empower You Podcast Authorship Series, brought to you by Lyfe LLC. In each episode, we interview a self-published author to talk about their journey to becoming an author, their book, and to reveal tips to help future authors release their story to the world. I'm your host, Kenston Henderson, founder and CEO of Lyfe, where I help groups and organizations get unstuck and equip them to achieve their professional development goals through keynote speaking and corporate professional and youth development training services. In today's episode, we have as our featured author, Wanda Coleman. Woo! Dr. Wanda Coleman is called by God to empower, educate, and equip men and women for life and for service through preaching, teaching, and writing. Wanda has a passion to help others find their voice and to reach their full potential. She seeks to encourage women, especially, to not only know and build a relationship with Jesus Christ, but to accept and love themselves as beautiful creations of God, precious in His sight. She is the author of Taking Off the Makeup, Loving Yourself as God Loves You. Wanda is married to Robert Coleman Jr., and together they have two adult children, Ambrielle and Emmanuel. All right, welcome, Wanda, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing well, and you pronounced our daughter's name just right.
Yes.
Thanks awesome. For having me. I appreciate it.
No problem. It is truly an honor. So, let's just jump right in. Tell us about Taking Off the Makeup. What is that book about?
Well, Taking Off the Makeup is a book that uses cosmetic makeup as a metaphor of those things that we need to take off from a spiritual perspective. Women are good at beautifying ourselves. We're good at putting makeup on, but we also know that makeup we can hide behind. And from a spiritual perspective, there are some things that we need to come from behind so that we can heal, that we can progress, so that we can learn to love ourselves and love God and just move forward.
That's good. That's good. Now, what inspired you to write this book? Like, was it something personal, something happened that you was like, I need to write this?
Well, this book came about, God was dealing with me regarding the call of God upon my life, and I couldn't sleep and all of that. And I went to my pastor at the time and was letting her know I was feeling the urge to speak. I was afraid to say preach, but I was letting her know I was feeling this urge. And she challenged me to put together a workshop for women's fellowship. And when I went and prayed about it, Taking Off the Makeup, Loving Yourself as God Loves You was the title that God gave me. And from there, it just grew. I presented the workshop and I was confirmed and affirmed in the gift. And it turned out God had more to say. And I did a class, and then He had more to say. And I ended up actually writing the book. And He's still speaking as of now. It's turned into a live broadcast and a journey group. God is still using this book and this concept to impact the lives of women.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. So continuous impact. Is there a part 2 book coming? Like,
I believe it's something more there. I keep feeling you missed a spot. So you may hear something in regards to that in the future. But I do believe there's more to it.
That's good. And I can just see it going so many different places and again, impacting so many people. So that is wonderful. So would you say this book is more geared towards women, or could men read this as well?
Now, I wrote the book for women. Women, yes, more for women. But the beautiful thing about this is that a man heard about this book and some of the information from the book, and from it he was able to come from behind some stuff that he was dealing with as a man, so it is for women. We're talking about cosmetic makeup, but I wouldn't deny that men go through things where they hide behind too, and it may not be makeup, but it may be some other things that they could take off.
Yeah, for sure. No, I know for sure, as far as ministry goes, that, men definitely can have on some different faces, right? Some different facades. And when there's really something going on, I remember going through something timely in my life, and it was just like, I was saying I'm blessed and highly favored, but I was going through some hellish things. And so, So I totally get that. So did you ever face any barriers while going through this process of writing your book?
The main barrier I faced was myself.
Mm,
It took me a long time because I felt like every time I began to write about something that got a little bit too raw for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
that had me to deal with some stuff I may not have want to deal with at the time or dealt with at the time, uh, I would stop. And then it just got to a point where God was like, no, you're going to stop this stop stuff. You're going to deal with this because you're trying to teach other people. You're
others.
trying to teach women how to come from behind it. You got to deal with it yourself. So I was probably the biggest barrier. And once God helped me get past myself, I was
Yeah.
able to get it out.
And see, that's a beautiful thing is knowing that, you gotta work yourself out in the process of doing what you're supposed to do, and before you can help other people. And I mean, I think that's how it should be anyway. But there's a lot of people out here that would love to help people out before helping themselves out. And so
Right.
yeah,
Right. So you don't want to
wow,
bleed on the people. I felt like that's necessary, So
yeah,
what he had me go through and write was necessary for me in order to help other people.
that's good. That's good. So there's so many people who out here who want to be a self-published author, or they just want to release that book, that story within them, and they're struggling to do what you did. And I heard the word follow through. And so what advice, what's a nugget or two that you can give to them that will say, you know what, okay, this is going to help me follow through with completing this process?
Definitely consistency. That was something that God really worked on me with. We can say all day that we want to write something, but if we are not consistent in showing up or not even consistent in the organization of a thought, then we're not going to get very far. So definitely be consistent. Be consistent at the time that you wake up to write, or finding that time. It may not be morning for some, it may be evening. Find a space, a consistent space where you can go and hear from God, be in silence and just be with your thoughts and see what's going to come out of that moment. So that's one of
Awesome.
the main things I can say.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, consistency is everything. Consistency. So you heard it, people. Be consistent every day. Just write down some tasks and go after them every single day, and you'll be on your way to to completing that book that you need to
Yes.
complete. All right. So, lastly, Wanda, where can people find and purchase your book at?
Well, you can go to my website at www.wandamcoleman.org, or you can purchase it from amazon.com. So either one of those methods could get you the book.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Wanda, for spending this time with us. And I wish you the best in all of your endeavors. I know you're going to continue to have a impact locally, but I can definitely see it going globally. So be ready for all that success to come through.
I received that, Kenston. Thank you so much.